Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today we're going to talk about something that I've seen recently in the YouTube comments, and the comment that I'm actually talking about is a comment that I saw recently on one of my videos. So yeah, I'm going to get onto that in a second, but it's good to be back on a whiteboard video. We've not done one for a while. The last kind of videos have been sat down on the videos, but yeah, I guess it's good to bring the whiteboard back. But yeah, getting on to the video today, and something that I saw recently, and I see this quite often, but in particular this one comment rattled me, and I thought I'm going to have to make a video on it. And basically, I'm not going to name names of who it was, and I'm not going to name the stock either, but basically this person went on to a video and commented and said that they're getting fed up of this stock doing nothing. Now, the stock they were on about in question is a stock they've been invested for 3 months, and what that stock has done is nothing. It's just stayed flat for 3 months, and like, oh, I'm fed of this company doing nothing. Now, that comment absolutely blew my mind, because for a stock to do nothing in 3 months is so common. And I don't know about them, but I think they claim to be a long-term investor. And if they're watching me, I'm guessing they're a long-term investor, because I'm a long-term investor. You know, I look at a lot of companies and I go, where they're going to be in 2 to 5 years, and in them 2 to 5 years, are they going to have 100% gain on the share price? You know, I'm not someone that looks at a stock and go, where's it going to be in 3 months? And I think that's what they're at as well. And it's not just them. I've seen a few comments kind of creeping up a little bit recently as well about another stock that I won't name. But going back to the point of view is, I've seen this building up, and I've seen the comment in particular, which was the one that kind of pushed me over the edge to kind of make this video, and saying that they're fed up with this stock because it's done nothing for 3 months. If that's your attitude, and if you are a long-term investor, then you need to quit, because it's absolutely mind-blowing for you to be a long-term investor and then get fed up with a company for not doing anything, or the stock price for not doing anything for 3 months. The big thing about making money and being a long-term investor, and it's easy to do, the easiest thing to kind of do as a long-term investor is just buy, hold, and have patience. But unfortunately, that's the same reason why so many people aren't successful in the stock market, is because they don't have that buy, hold, sit on that investment, be patient, and if it's a good investment in the long term, you'll see the rewards come in. That's the big reason why a lot of people fail in the stock market, is because they don't have patience. And this is a prime example of a stock which hasn't done anything for 3 months, and then going, oh, I'm fed up with that investment. I'm going to sell it because the stock price hasn't done anything in 3 months. I'm going to leave. I don't want to do that. And rather than getting into this position, you know, if you don't realize that mindset you need to have, you might as well quit now, because to be successful in the long term, you need to buy great companies, you need to hold great companies, and you need to have patience with them. It's not a coincidence, and I do the portfolio reviews on Patreon, and it's actually coming up to 3 months now since I last said that I would do one back on the YouTube channel. Hopefully the views are a little bit better. But when people look at my portfolio review videos, they go, oh, look at the gains in so and so, look at the gains in so and so. And when they do that, it's not a coincidence that the stocks that have the most gains in my portfolio are the ones that I've bought, I've held, and I've now had them in my portfolio for, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It's not a coincidence those are the stocks that have brought in the best gains. It's also not a coincidence that the stocks that are, 0% up, 10% up, 20% up, down 10%, down 20%. It's not a coincidence that those stocks are the ones that I've kind of held for 12 months, 24 months. Those are the stocks that are newer to the portfolio, because that's what happens. The longer you kind of hold a lot of these stocks, the longer you put the odds in your favor that you are going to do well on these investments. And to judge a stock off a 3 month period is absolutely criminal, because in the short term, it could go up, it could go down. And potentially, if you're invested into a lot of these companies, there's going to be times where these stocks or these stock prices do nothing for not even 3 months, but you could even be talking 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. I've been in stocks before where they've done nothing for, nearly coming up to 2 years. And you've got to be considering, would I be happy to put my stock money into a stock and then the stock price does nothing for 2 years? Would you be happy to do that? If you are not happy to kind of have that sort of mindset, I think you need to quit. The big thing is you've got to look at what the company's doing. While the share price might be doing this, you've got to be focusing. You're not investing into a company because of the stock price. You are looking at what the company is. Potentially you might look at the stock price and make sure it's undervalued, but the big thing as well is just making sure your company's performing. Because in the background, the stock price might be flat, but if in the background your company's growing revenue, it's growing profit, it's signing new deals, the company inside the company might be doing very well. And in the company, it might be doing this. But if the stock price is doing that, it might be a little bit frustrating. But that's why you do long-term investments, because you don't need to worry about that. Because eventually what happens is, and it happens so quickly, a lot of investors, a lot of Wall Street will be down here, and then all of a sudden go, oh, look at that share price, and then look at what the company is doing. The company is doing absolutely amazing. This company should be worth more than what it is right now. Boom, shoots up. It happens so often. You know, Tesla in 2019 was smashing it. They were getting to profitability. They were ramping up the Model 3. They just opened up the Shanghai factory. Do you know what the share price was doing? It wasn't even doing that. The share price went, woof, it went down. And across the year of 2019, I went down 30% on Tesla. Do you know what happened after people realised, oh, you know what, that Tesla company is actually really good? Went up 1,000%. And he did it within like 3-4 months. And that's how quickly things can change. And that's why you shouldn't really focus on what's going on with the share price. You should be focusing on what is the company doing. And as long as you're happy with how the company is performing, then you should carry on holding that company. Because it doesn't matter where the share price is. The share price can go up, it can go down. Eventually, it will move in the right direction over a long period of time. But the big thing why people don't do that is because they don't have the patience. And that comment in particular, if you're judging the share price, a company, an investment off a 3 months period, then you're not going to do well at all, because the share price is not the company. And as well as that, if you're a long-term investor isn't a 3 months period. The amount of times that you will have in the stock market, you will have periods in the stock market where you will have companies that don't do anything for 2 years. You could have a stock market that does nothing for, we have a bear stock market. We have a stock market that does nothing for a year, maybe 2 years. We have a stock market that might go down a year. And that's just part of the game. And if you don't have the mindset and you don't have the patience to hold them companies, and you just look at the share price. I saw it as well the other day where someone said, oh, I'm getting fed up with this company. The company's not done anything. I've been in this company for 12 months and it's not done anything. I'm getting fed up with it. And I said, well, are you fed up with the company, or are you fed up with the share price? Because it sounds like to me you're fed up with the share price. You're fed up that the share price hasn't done anything for 12 months. Talk about how the company's done. And the company had won major clients. The company had, the revenue was up, I think, going to be up 130% this year. And the last quarter, they've just put in 230% revenue growth. So I was saying, you've got to consider here, are you fed up with the company? Because I look at the company and I'm massively impressed with it. And the longer that the share price is staying down, I'm actually quite happy. In fact, even if the share price starts going down, I'm actually quite happy, because I'm thinking at some point the correction will happen. And you look and you think, well, the longer the share price stays here, the more I can buy shares and think, well, my upside's going up and up and up, but the share price is staying here, so I'm going to make more money. Or even the better case scenario where the share price is going down even a little bit, and the share price is where you think the share price is going to go is going up and up and up and up and up. And then when it happens, the upside's even more now. And that's the big thing you got to consider. And it's kind of a tricky mindset to understand, but that's the big thing with long-term investing. A big part of long-term investing, and why a lot of people aren't successful in long-term investing, is because they don't have patience. They stare at a share price all day and not realising, you know what, I'm happy where the company's going. I'm going to check on the company every couple of months, make sure it's doing all the right things, and I'll leave it there and not get too focused on looking at it every day. And eventually, boom, the share price will start moving in the right direction. And, I think Warren Buffett, once got asked about, why don't people do your investing method as much? Because clearly it's a very good way of getting rich. And Warren Buffett went on to say that the reason why is because people don't want to get rich slowly. And that's exactly it. People invested into a company, oh yeah, I'm a long-term investor, after 3 months, and then go, oh, it's not doing anything. It's not really being a long-term investor, is it? That's why. But if it's over a course of kind of a couple of years, I'm sure if you invested into a great company, that share price will start moving in the right direction, as long as it's doing the right thing inside the company. And then people wake up and go, oh, that's a really good company. Now don't get me wrong, there's a couple of companies that are always growing and growing, and people and investors and Wall Street are always on it, and you'll see it always moving in the right direction. But every so often there's just not this correlation between the stock price and the company could perform and the stock price doesn't. And sometimes those are the best opportunities as a long-term investor to kind of capitalize and buy them opportunities as well. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video today just talking about that mindset and having patience with companies and making sure you're not staring at the stock price rather than, you're looking at the company and making sure your company is performing. And and that's the big thing why people aren't successful, and that's why a lot of people do quit the stock market and give up on it, and why a lot of people, even though it's a great way of building wealth, why a lot of people don't do it, because they don't have that patience. And if you don't have the patience, and some people don't, some people need to quit the stock market because there's going to be challenging times in here, and the big thing to have is patience, and as long as you have patience, you will do very well. So yeah, I hope this video is a little bit useful. I just wanted to talk about that because it's just something that I've seen building up, and I think with what we had in 2020 where the stock market just went up in a straight line, there's still a couple of people out there that are kind of struggling to kind of get that mindset of that wasn't a normal year, and there will be the stock market in general that has flat years, and there will be stocks in general that have years where they're flat as well, and you have to understand that, and if you don't, it will be quite difficult for you. So yeah, I hope the video is useful anyway. And like I said, maybe some people don't really need this video because they have that mindset, but from what I can see, there's a few people that are still struggling with that, I guess, and maybe just a bit of a refresher as well, I guess. So if it was useful, hit the like button. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.